Hey guys, this is Monkey Ninja,
K-Bass.
And Phazon.
and welcome to Metroid Zero Mission. This is day and night gameplay. So, yeah, this is final game and the final 2D Metroid game in the series, and it's actually a remake of the original game. So we figured this would be a good starting point for a franchise, since it gives you basically reimagining of Samus' story. A couple of few new additions.
Unless you don't count, that's if you don't count other M as 3D, 2D. Or I thought did this come out? This came out after Fusion, didn't it?
Yeah, this came out in 2004.
Okay.
And here we get a little bit of exposition of Samus' backstory. And this actually one of the few, if not only, lines of text you'll see throughout the whole game.
Short beams.
Yeah, short and sweet and to the point.
Jeez,
And this is actually
not even like 3 feet long.
Yeah.
My God.
And funny thing about this game, this actually ended up being, I believe, the final game I got for Game Boy Advance before the DS came out, back in 2004.
Sure.
It's one of those late generation games. Anyways, this is a unique game and franchise because it introduced a unique element that no game in the 80s did up until that point, which is force you to go to the left, as you just saw right there.
Yeah.
It's kind of standard now, but I mean, it blew a lot of people's minds back in the day. And yeah, this game introduces quite a few drastic upgrades or original, like the ability to crouch and shoot, which is a godsend if you ever played the original.
God, yes. Oh my God, yes.
And here we have a Chozo statue. The Chozo are actually an integral part of the story, but they actually don't really mention it much in this game, which is kind of surprising. They're just kind of there, like, hey, join my hands, here you go. This is where you have to go next.
Kind of goes with linearity that of like Fusion with this openness, kind of like Super Metroid or any of the other ones.
Yeah, well, anyways, the story to this game, well, here's the setup that we're supposed to know up until this point. Basically, in the year 2003, in the cosmic calendar, which apparently is different from the regular calendar, so who knows what year it is, space pirates attacked the Intergalactic Space Federation, which is basically a Congress set up between the planets, and they've been attacking them for quite a while, but since they're pirates, they're really hard to get to in the vast reaches of space, so they can never actually wipe them out. So, what they did is, eventually, it got to the point where they, attacked the vessel and stole a bunch of creatures known as Metroids. And these creatures were they're so dangerous that they actually wiped out the entire planet, or the entire population of a planet that they came from, which is SR something.
388.
Yeah. 388. Well, anyways, they find a base of operations for space pirates, which is the planet Samus, which is the planet that we're on right now. And they send in a single bounty hunter because when they try to attack it themselves, they actually can't get past the defenses.
Because Samus is a badass, that's why.
Yeah, so he gets the job done. Oh yeah, and apparently Samus is from the planet Sebes, which is why she knows her way around so well, I guess.
Wait. You're saying that, but judging by what you've been saying, Samus is a girl?
Yeah, Samus Aran's a girl, as you probably saw in the first cutscene. But it was a surprise back in the day.
Yes.
And here we have some narcissism with Ridley and Kraid. That door actually becomes important pretty later on in the game. And what those two bosses were, they're classic Metroid bosses that are commanders of space pirates. Well, Raid isn't, but Ridley is. So we'll have to come face to face with them in a second. And here we have a surprise, I don't know what that is. But
I don't
yeah,
think I've ever learned a single enemy's name in Metroid except for the boss.
even then it's a little iffy.
I mean, it's Legend of Zelda. You kind of get to know these enemies' names, but you're kind of right. I actually don't know any of the names of regular enemies in Metroid, besides Metroid, of course, but that's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because I think this is the game where it has the most consistent enemies. I'm pretty sure, like, Now all the enemies from the original show up like in almost every game. Now I think about it. Except ironically in Metroid, I think, aren't they not present in Metroid Prime 3? Like you don't even fight them?
I never played 3.
Well, I know Greg did. But here's another really, really good addition to the game. You have save points, which is a godsend if you ever played the original.
My God, the grinding. The password, the grinding, the password.
Yeah, the original was kind of dated compared to today. But actually, interesting point. In Japan, when the game was released on Famicom, it comes with a built-in save system.
As most Famicom games did, but it makes sense, I suppose, considering that the Famicom is stronger than the SNES, or the NES, I mean.
Which is kind of weird, considering that the Famicom came out before the NES. But anyways, Greg, you were saying that, was there Metroids in the original? And Metroid Prime 3?
I think so. I think they're like just really, really weak. Not really an issue.
And here we have a mini boss, which is King Worm, as you just saw right there. And he's actually pretty simple, but he's unique because he'll pop up whenever you see the ground rumbling, like you just saw right there. And when he pops out, you basically fight him like during random parts of the game, like if you didn't kill him now. So he'll attack you like 3 times, and if you don't kill him within those 3 hits, then he'll run away, and you have to come back and fight him. And if you beat him, you get the charge beam. Which to beat him, really, you can just do what I just did: just stand under him and make sure you hit him with the missiles. That way, you don't miss him with an attack, which is a very real possibility.
I like the extreme change of pace. How you were just running around, nothing's really happening. You still hear the normal music, and all of a sudden, everything's changing out of nowhere.
Actually, that's kind of true.
But yeah, there's a lot of backtracking through this game. That's pretty much a staple of the franchise. And amazed yourself, the Chozo statues will actually tell you where to go to next. So you got to try and find your way to there, which is not as it's not as strict as Metroid Fusion is. I mean, they'll tell you where to go, but how you get there is your own choice. And right there, these little bugs, they'll keep showing up unless you come up to the secret area you're going to see in a second and destroy this nest right here. If you don't destroy this nest right here, then it's impossible to get a missile upgrade we're going to see in a second. They'll keep showing up in the previous room. And there you have another staple of the franchise. You have invisible walls and secret power-ups. It likes to reward you for exploring areas.
Sure.
Look at that. You're destroying all their homes. Why would you do that?
Because Samus is a douche.
What a bitch. Well, after all, she does end up, spoiler alert, she destroys, like, every planet she steps on, so...
Yeah, that's her job. She's damn good at her job.
Well, I wouldn't say now, but, by the time you get to, like, Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion, it's kind of like, we know what we're asking about. If we bring her here, we're not going to see the place anymore.
Yeah, I like to think that she's an intergalactic deity. That she presses just the right buttons. She's blonde too. Coincidence? I think not.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, another godsend. You get maps in this game.
Oh my god, yes, that too.
And original, you didn't have a map system unless you got a strategy guide. So you were kind of boned if you didn't have a map or the internet, which, in the 80s you didn't have either of those. So if you didn't have Nintendo Power, you're going to get lost a lot.
Yeah. My main issue wasn't really not having a map. It was the fact that because everything looks exactly the same, it made you wish you had a map.
Yeah. Well, that's the limitations of Nintendo, I guess, but I can appreciate what it did for the time. I can appreciate the fact that it gave us this franchise. This franchise is XD. It has its ups and downs, but when it has its ups, it really, really does well.
For sure. I mean, but in most games and everything, the games have been pretty darn good. like Super Metroid and then Metroid Prime. Maybe 2 was a little off, but I hear 3 was really good.
Yeah, 3, I actually found 3 a bit difficult, but a lot of people didn't. And I guess it must have been the time I actually played it in, but I actually found 3 way more difficult than 1, which, like, almost nobody agrees with. In terms of difficulty, this game itself is actually pretty easy. If you beat the game once, you unlock a hard mode, and one of the main differences between the hard and normal mode is, well, you start off without a hard or easy mode, but the main difference is enemy damage output and the amount of save rooms you got. So, the other big thing about save rooms is every time you die, you start off at the last save room you went to. So, yeah, it can get kind of, I can see it getting kind of annoying later on in the game. But we're playing in normal. I couldn't figure out how to get the hard mode to work. I actually did have a file where I beat this game in.
Wait, I'm assuming. Wait. You saying that you are beating the game already on this?
Well, as of this recording, I had to go back and play this game through a couple of times. I lost my save file.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's that. I'm assuming it's different bugs you were talking about then, right? For that we're gonna drop there? Or maybe
No, it's a different room. You'll see.
Oh, okay.
I'll mention it again.
Alright.
Oh, yeah, another little nice addition about the charge beam is if you hold the charge and you jump forward while you're holding the charge, they'll actually go ahead and damage enemies as if you would hit them with the charge beam. And in Super Metroid, they have something that they take out in this game that I actually enjoyed. If you held your charge beam and went into morph ball mode, it would lay a bunch of morph ball bombs, which is pretty neat.
Wow. That's actually
Yeah.
really cool.
Metroid had a lot of secrets like that. I don't think I've ever learned all of them.
Yeah, a lot of nice little Easter eggs. Now, here's what I don't quite understand. I don't know if I didn't read into the story enough, but okay, well, the planet Zibis is actually a space pirate fortress. Like, they take over it, and Mother Brain took over it, which is what the life beam we're supposed to hunt down, which controls all the creatures on this planet. But I don't really remember where the Chozos come into play here. I think this may have been a planet that they lived on beforehand.
Something or other. I'm actually
But
not
I guess
familiar with the mythos.
But I guess it would kind of make sense considering that Samus was supposed to be raised by a Chozo. And this is the room I was talking about. To get this missile upgrade, you have to go ahead and lay a bomb there just like I did. But if you didn't kill those bugs before, they'd be infinitely spawning, and they would hit you out of morph ball mode.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I could say that to be very annoying to get that missile upgrade.
Yeah. There's a couple little cause and effect type things you have to do in this game to go ahead and get upgrades like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. High jump poops.
Yeah, we'll get those later. We'll get a bunch of upgrades to help Samus out as we get further in the game.
Sure.
You know,
Alright, Go ahead.
that's probably the best thing about the Metroid games is they really do give you this feeling of getting more powerful.
Yeah, it's one of the central themes behind the game. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.